In the new era, China-Russia relations are more self-confident, firm, and resilient. From May 7th to 10th, President Xi Jinping made a state visit to Russia and attended commemorations in Moscow of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Soviet Union's Great Patriotic War. In World War II, China was the main battlefield in Asia, and the Soviet Union was the main battlefield in Europe.
奥利，
很高兴再见。
斯洛伐克总理菲佐。
Good to see you again. 很高兴再次见到你，祝贺。
越南国家主席梁强。
We're watching live pictures from the heart of Beijing, the Duanmen
伊朗总统及女儿。
Dozens
米昂莱代总统。
international organizations
阿塞拜疆总统和夫人。 马尔代夫总统。
Welcome to China. 很高兴再次见到你。
武契奇总统和夫人。
Part of this commemoration,
高兴见到您。
a grand military parade will also take place.
蒙古总统和夫人。
Troops are standing by ready along Chang'an Avenue as we speak.
津巴布韦总统姆南加古瓦。
Welcome to China. 很高兴再次见到你。
刚果布总统萨苏。 哈萨克斯坦总统托卡耶夫。
Early morning in Beijing.
印尼总统普拉博沃。
Live to a global audience.
Thank you for being here.
亚美尼亚总理及夫人。西哈莫尼国王。 米尔基耶夫总统和夫人。
昨天的会见非常好。
卢卡申科总统。
International guests are arriving. Later on, they will pose for a group
拉
photo.
赫蒙总统。
Here's what we know about the commemoration that
扎
will
帕罗夫
happen
总
later
统。
today. The Chinese president will deliver an
别尔
important
德穆哈梅
speech
多夫
after
总
the
统。
commemoration.
通伦
And the
总统。
commemoration includes
通伦主席。
a massive military
很
parade,
高兴再次见到你。
which is composed of
Welcome
two
to China.
parts:
卡内
the
尔主
inspection
席
of。the troops and the march past, lasting approximately 70 minutes.
Welcome to China.
总书记。
The Chinese president and his wife welcoming guests arriving for the commemoration. And now they're walking towards a group photo where the arriving international dignitaries will take a group photo together with the Chinese president.
We are certainly marking a significant anniversary today on September 3rd. China is commemorating the 80th anniversary of the victory
Thank you.
This gathering today in commemoration of the victory also heralds a new beginning for all countries to work together to create a harmonious world and safeguard global peace.
Well, as you can see right there, front and center on this gate is the character Duan Men. The Chinese character Duan also conveys righteousness, which is consistent with the message of safeguarding international justice.
The leaders are now walking together towards the Tiananmen rostrum. It's a short walk from the Duanmen Gate we've been telling you about, which stands just north of the Tiananmen rostrum, to the rostrum itself.
And Joshi, you know, for many foreign leaders who have visited China before, the Tiananmen rostrum, or the Forbidden City, is a familiar sight. Many of them have been here before to the Forbidden City. However, this gathering here today holds a special significance.
Absolutely. The Tiananmen rostrum sits right in the heart of the Chinese capital, with viewing platforms that can overlook the Tiananmen Square. The leaders will be walking towards the rostrum. They will ascend to the viewing platform on the rostrum and view the military parade together.
Now, as they walk on the red carpet to make their way to the top of the Tiananmen rostrum, a little bit of background information about the structure. It was built as a ceremonial gate to the imperial city in the Ming Dynasty. It's witnessed ties of...
In October 1945, Japanese invaders in North China officially surrendered at the square of the Hall of Supreme Harmony in the Forbidden City.
Today's commemoration is certainly a big national event, a military event as well, as troops and armaments are standing by ready for the inspection. It is also a significant diplomatic event, as has a Chinese history in the past 6 centuries.
And in 1937, Tiananmen Square witnessed the fall of Peking.
State leaders of international organizations are convening here to review the commemoration and the parade.
The leaders are making full use of this time as they walk together to the Tiananmen rostrum, engaging in friendly chit-chat and conversations.
And today, the Tiananmen rostrum, steeped in the depths of history, will again witness new glory. It is a pretty long walk to ascend to the top of the Tiananmen rostrum.
Commemorating the victory in that war, in the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression, as well as the World Anti-Fascist War. And now the leaders are arriving at that expansive viewing platform up on the Tiananmen rostrum.
And we understand that
"80 decades ago, World War II ended with over 100 million casualties among soldiers and civilians worldwide. Chinese casualties were more than 35 million. And today is about commemorating.
Some of the veterans of the War of Resistance were given their own viewing spots on top of the Tiananmen rostrum. Crowds are welcoming China's top leader, as well as international dignitaries. We are seeing veterans sitting there. And President Xi Jinping and international dignitaries.
Veterans present up on the Tiananmen rostrum. He even introduced the veterans to his guests there, shaking hands with the veterans, greeting them, welcoming them to this very important commemoration.
And the veterans represent the legacies of this.
八路军老战士张平100岁，
100-year-old
八路军老战士刘世业94岁，
94-year-old
八路军老战士傅英102岁，
102-year-old
华南游击队香港老战士罗定辉94岁，
Bruce Army.
国民党抗日老兵宋其祥100岁。
100-year-old veteran from the Kuomintang. And during the fight against the Japanese aggression, the Chinese people established a national united front to safeguard their homeland.
Obviously, the Chinese president was very pleased to see the
Long-fought war. And their spirit of resilience, of peace, of perseverance still echo on every inch of China's soil now.
It's certainly a very heartwarming scene there.
Defending China's sovereignty and territorial integrity and fighting off the Japanese aggressors.
Real heroes and real witnesses, not to have the veterans seated up on the Tiananmen rostrum. They are the real heroes and role models, and they motivate us to keep pushing forward. The victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression is a glory shared by the Chinese nation and also people worldwide who stand for justice. Professor Gao, Mr. Zhou, let's bring you in for this part. Obviously, the veterans are seated, out there on the Tiananmen rostrum so that they have an opportunity to participate in the commemoration today. What do you make of that arrangement, Professor Gao?
Well, I think this is really the right thing to do because they fought against the Japanese aggressors. They shed their blood, and they have always been honored by the People's Republic, by the Chinese people, and now they are in the center of this reviewing process of the parade to commemorate the 80th year anniversary of the victory against Japanese aggression. And I think we all hail them as the real heroes.
Only to the atrocities of the war, but more importantly to the final victory. And we're so happy that they get to see the commemoration today.
I can't agree more with Victor Gao about the importance of having these veterans standing on Tiananmen Square. I think it's rare, It won't be easy for us to see these people right now because they're all very old people, but they're still alive, but they can still see how strong China is today, in which they have made their due and a great contribution. So I think that is indeed a great honor for them to be there and for us to see them there.
Now, many of these veterans fought under extremely harsh conditions. Poverty, famine, the lack of military resources. What does their perseverance teach us about the spirits of, resilience and courage? And, besides honoring them in events like this, what more could we do, Professor Gao, to really weave their legacies more into everyday life?
I think these veterans 80 years ago, or more than 80 years ago, fought against Japanese aggressors not only as soldiers, but they were true representatives of the Chinese nation, true representative of the Chinese culture and the Chinese civilization. In their bodies, I can see the Chinese civilization, and by shedding blood for their own motherland, by fighting off foreign aggressors, they set an example for the future generation. So now we honor them as our national hero, and the younger generation draw inspiration from these veterans and learn lessons from them, and we become redoubled in our commitment to defending peace and defending China and defending the Chinese culture and ultimately the Chinese civilization.
You know, obviously, we're commemorating this day. We're inviting veterans up on the Tiananmen Rostrum to carry on the spirit of the war of resistance against the Japanese aggression. Mr. Zhou, how do we do that? How do we make sure that the spirit of perseverance, the spirit of never surrender, the spirit of defending your motherland lives on in today's world?
Well, these people are actually old soldiers, right? And old soldiers never die. So what they have left us are actually a litany of fine traditions. But if you look at the PLA today, you would find it so interesting to see that how small they were at that time and how ill-equipped they were at that time. But on the contrary, today, China is almost the opposite, right? China is having the largest armed force in the world, and in the moment, we're going more about modern-day soldiers, because that's really, really matter, for us, if you are going to another war. So you have to think of where you come from, right? And what kind of traditions are already placed in you. So these people basically are the very sources of a fine tradition.
How can remembering their sacrifices and contributions inspire values that are still relevant today? Professor Gao.
Well, I think they are the true Chinese nationals and our heroes. But allow me to mention, behind these veterans, I also see those who fell on the battleground, who really sacrificed their lives for the Chinese nation. So I think we not only see these veterans who are the true representative of those heroes fighting against Japanese aggressors, but they are also representatives of all the millions of the Chinese soldiers who shed their blood, who sacrificed their life, and they too become the national heroes for the current generation of the Chinese nation and the future generations. And I think by honoring them, we honor ourselves, we honor our national history and our Chinese civilization, and we honor peace. That is the most important thing.
That have arrived in Beijing. You're looking at live pictures of the Tiananmen Square that's fully decorated for the commemoration today. There are the year marking installations that show the years 1945 and 2025. Today is September 3rd. In the capital, Beijing, the commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression in the World Anti-Fascist War will begin soon.
CGTN is broadcasting the commemoration live to global audiences. We're now watching live pictures from the Tiananmen Square. The commemoration is going to begin in just a moment. Representatives of Hong Kong, Taiwan, patriots, as well as overseas Taiwanese were also present on the Vietnam roster. And we could see the obelisk, the monument to the people's heroes.
Thunder of guns resembles roars of soldiers on the battleground. It is also like a song of triumph, sending to time and space to tell our fallen heroes. China today is a great country with majestic mountains and rivers, and its people are full of pride,
Safeguarding world peace and contributing to the progress of human civilization with fearless strength and determination. The Great Wall symbolizes the unyielding spirit of the Chinese nation. This great nation never bows to any enemy or any force. Those who dare to invade us are doomed to crash into the iron Great Wall with bloodshed.
Chinese people's deep love towards the motherland can be seen from the steadfast gaze of the honor guards. When their patriotism erupts like a volcano, there will be no insurmountable hurdles or unachievable feats for them. Never stops. Under the strong leadership of the Communist Party of China, the Chinese nation, with a firm grip on its own destiny, is marching forward staunchly and proudly.
From the monument of the people's heroes to the national flagpole, and from the great victory to the great rejuvenation, the Chinese nation has walked a long way of innumerable difficulties and hardships.
Chinese modernization and a global community with a shared future.
The national anthem, March of the Volunteers, which was born during wartime, will soon be played. It was written in 1935, in the early years of the war against Japanese aggression.
升国旗，
Raise the national
唱
flag
国
and
歌。
sing the national anthem.
敬礼！
请坐下。
Please be seated.
请中共中央
I
总书记、
invite General
中华
Secretary
人
of
民
the
共和
CPC
国
Central
主席、
Committee, President of the
中央
People's
军委
Republic of
主席
China, and Chairman of
习近平同
the
志
Central Military
发
Commission,
表
Comrade
重要
Xi
讲
Jinping,
话。
to deliver an important speech.
全国同胞们，
All my fellow Chinese across the
尊
nation,
敬的各位国家元首
Your Excellencies,
政府
heads of
首脑
state and government,
和
and
国际组织代
representatives
表，
of international organizations,
尊敬的各位来宾，
distinguished guests,
全体受阅将士们、
all officers and
同
soldiers
志们、
participating in the
朋友
parade,
们，
call victory of the
世界
Chinese People's
反法
War
西
of
战争
resistance against
胜
the
利
Japanese
80周
aggression
年，
and the World Anti-Fascist War.
共同铭记历史，
It is an occasion
缅
for
怀
us to
先
remember
烈，
history,
珍
honor
爱
fallen
和
heroes,
平，
cherish
开
peace,
创未来。
and create a better future.
我代表中共中
On
央
behalf of the Central Committee of the
全
Communist
国
Party
人
of
大
China, the National People's
国
Congress,
务院、
the State Council,
全国政协、
the National Committee of the Chinese People's
中央
Political
军委
Consultative Conference, and the Central Military Commission,
向全国
I would
参
like
加
to
过
pay
抗
high
日战
tribute
争的
to
老战
our
士、
veteran soldiers and
老
comrades,
同志、
patriots,
爱国人士
and officers who fought in the
抗日
war
将领
of resistance against Japanese aggression,
向为中国人民抗日战争胜利
and to the Chinese nationals
做出
from home
重大
and
贡
abroad
献的
who made important
海内
contributions
外
to
中华
our
儿女
victory.
致以崇高敬意，向支
I
援
would also like to express
和帮助
my
过
sincere
中
thanks
国人民
to
抵抗侵略的外国政
foreign
府
governments
和国际
and
友
friends
人，
that
表示
supported
衷
and
心
assisted
感
comrades.
表
To
示
our guests
热烈
from
欢
around
迎
the world who are with us today.
同志们、朋友们，
Comrades and friends,
中国人民抗日战争
the Chinese people's
是
war
艰
of
苦
resistance
卓绝的
against the Japanese
伟
aggression
大战
was the
争，
great war fought with tenacity
在中
and
国
valor
共产党倡导建立的
under the banner of the
抗日民族统一
National
战线
United
旗帜下
Front， against Japanese aggression established
中国人民
at the
以
initiative
铮铮
of
铁
the
骨
Communist Party of
战
China,
强敌，
the Chinese people
以
stood
血肉
up
之
to
躯
fight the formidable
筑长城
enemy with an iron will
取得
and formed a
近代
great
以
war
来
with flesh and blood to
反抗
defend
外
the
敌
nation
入侵
and
的
ultimately achieved
第
the
一次
first complete
完
victory
全胜利。
in resisting foreign aggression in modern times.
中国人民抗日战争
The Chinese
是
People's
世
War
界
of
反
resistance
法西
against
斯
the
战
Japanese
争
aggression
的
was
重
an
要
important
组成
part
部
of the
分。
World Anti-Fascist War.
中国人民以巨大的
With
民
huge
族
national
牺牲，
sacrifice, the Chinese people
为拯救
made
人类文
major
明，
contributions
保
to
卫
saving
世界
human
和平，
civilization and
做出
safeguarding
了
world
重大
peace.
贡献。民族
Only
平等
when
相
all
待
countries and
和
nations
睦相处，
treat each other
守
as
望
equals,
相助，
coexist in
才能
peace
维
and
护
support each
共
other,
同安全，
can we uphold common
消灭
security,
战争根源，
eradicate the root cause of
不
war,
让历史悲剧
and prevent
重演。
the reoccurrence of historical tragedies.
同志们、朋友们，
Comrades and friends,
中华民族是不畏强暴
the，Chinese nation is the
自立
great
自
nation
强
that
的
is
伟大
never
民族。
intimidated by any bullies
当年
and always values
面对
independence
正
and
义与
forges
邪
ahead.
恶、光明
In the
与
past,
黑
when
暗、
faced with critical struggles
进
between
步与
good
反
and
动
evil,
的
light and
生死
darkness,
较量，
progress and reaction, the Chinese
中
people
国人民同仇敌
rallied
忾，
together to defy
奋起
the
反
enemy.
抗，为国家生存而战，
They fought for the
为
survival
民
of the
族复
country,
兴而战，
for the rejuvenation
为
of the
人
Chinese
类正
nation,
义而
and
战。
for justice of the whole humanity.
今天，人类又面临
Today,
和平还是战争，
humanity again has to choose
对话
between
还
peace
是对
and
抗，
war, dialogue
共
and
赢还是
confrontation,
零和的抉择。
win-win cooperation and zero-sum game.
中国人民坚定站在历史正确
Chinese
一边
people，firmly all
人类
peoples
命
around the
运共
world
同体
and building a community with a shared future for humanity.
中国人民解放军
The Chinese People's
始
Liberation
终是
Army has been
党和人
and
民
will always be
完全可以
the
信赖
heroic
的
armed
英
forces
雄
that the
部队。
party and the people can fully trust
全军
and
将
rely
士
on.
要忠实履行神圣
All
职
service
责，
members should
加快
faithfully
建设
perform their
世界
sacred
一
duties,
流军队，
speed up the building of a
坚决
world-class
维护
military,
国家主权
and firmly safeguard
统一
China's sovereignty,
领土完整，
unity, and territorial integrity.
为实现中华民族伟大
All
复兴
service members should
提
provide
供战略支
strategic
撑，
support for the great rejuvenation of the
为世界
Chinese
和
nation
平与发
and make
展
greater
做
contributions
出
to the
更大
peace
贡
and
献。
development of the world.
历史承载过去，
History
也
carries
启
the
迪未
legacy
来。
of the past and inspires the future.
新时代新征程，
On a new journey in a
全国
new
各族
era,
人民
the Chinese people
要在中国
of
共
all
产党
ethnic
坚
groups
强领导下，
under the strong leadership of the Communist Party
坚
of China
持马克思列宁主
follow
义、
Marxism, Leninism,
毛泽东思
Mao
想，全面贯彻新时代
and fully
中国
implement
特
the
色
thoughts on
社会
socialism
主义思
with
想，
Chinese characteristics for the new era.
坚定不移走中国特色社
We
会
should
主
stay
义道
firmly
路
on，a path of socialism with
传
Chinese
承和弘扬
characteristics and carry
伟
forward
大
the
抗
great
战精
spirit
神，
of the war of
出
resistance.
力奋发，
We should press
勇
ahead
毅
with
前行，
enterprise and resolve,
为
and
中国式
advance the
现代
unity,
化
the cause of building
全面
China
推
into
进
a great
强
country
国建
on
设
all fronts,
民
and
族
realizing great
复兴
national
伟业
rejuvenation
而
through
团
China's
结奋
modernization.
斗。中华民族伟大复兴势
The
不可
great
挡，
rejuvenation of the Chinese
人类
nation
和平与
is
发展的
irresistible.
崇高
The
事
noble
业
cause of peace
必
and
将胜利。
development of humanity will prevail. The military parade now begins.
标兵就位。
Markers in position.
Parade guards mark positions and boundaries at the parade ground. 60 soldiers will line up in front of the eastern and western ornament columns on the Tiananmen Square.
Marching with steadfast footsteps and imposing bearing, the ironclad troops showcase their unshakable faith, strong conviction, strict discipline, and firm commitment to their duties.
Standing firm on the ground of the motherland and bearing the hope of the Chinese nation, the heroic People's Liberation Army has forged ahead dauntlessly throughout wars, achieving great historic feats for the party and the people.
At this solemn moment today, Xi Jinping, they are also ready to be reviewed by the party and the people.
Comrade Chairman, the troops for review are fully prepared. Please proceed with the inspection. Chief Commander of the Parade, Han Zhengxuan. Let's begin.
military flags.
同志们辛苦了！
The people.
同志们辛苦了！
In a typical Bakken form, President Xi says President Xi's car rides past the troops. The soldiers shout, "Follow the party's command. Fight to win. Forge exemplary conduct. Justice will prevail. Peace will prevail. The people will prevail."
Follow the party's command sets the military's political orientation. Fighting to win is the basic function of the military, and the fundamental objective is development. Forging exemplary conduct demonstrates the Army's nature and principle.
Justice will prevail. Peace will prevail. The people will prevail. Resistance against Japanese aggression and the world anti-fascist war. vehicles and armaments are lining up. They will soon march to the Tiananmen rostrum.
The People's Liberation Army is known as the PLA. In 1927, its frontrunners were founded by the Communist Party of China. It was originally called the Chinese Workers and Peasants Red Army. This year marks the 98th anniversary of the founding of the PLA.
During the 14-year-long War of Resistance, under the leadership of the Communist Party of China, the 8th Red Army and the new 4th Army, together with the Chinese people, defeated the Japanese forces and enveloped the invaders. They asserted their role in the battlefields and achieved victory in the War for National Liberation.
Since the founding of the People's Republic of China in 1949, the PLA has also undertaken the tasks of national defense, socialist construction, while transforming itself into a more revolutionary and modernized military.
Intelligence systems, underwater combat units, cyber and electronic forces, and hypersonic weapons, highlighting the PLA's growing capacity to harness emerging technologies, adapt to the evolving character of warfare, and prevail in future conflicts.
Just as China's weaponry has seen remarkable evolution over the years, the Chinese military has also continuously strengthened itself by reinforcing the primacy of political guidance and advancing comprehensive reforms.
China pursues a national defense policy that is defensive in nature. China will never seek hegemony, expansion, or spheres of influence.
Today, the PLA protects China and its people while making significant contributions to safeguarding world peace. It is the largest contributing country for peacekeepers among the permanent members of the UN Security Council.
China has formulated a three-year modernization of national defense and the armed forces by 2035 and fully built the military into a world-class one by 2050.
The centenary objectives state that by 2027, China will accelerate the integrated development of mechanization, informationization, and intelligentization, accelerate the modernization of military theory, organizational forms, personnel and weaponry, and prioritize quality and efficiency to enhance operational efficiency of military system, and optimize the utilization of defense resources and promote the synchronized growth of defense and economic strengths. planes that form the aerial echelons will take off from several airports and fly over the Tiananmen Square.
A total of 45 formations and echelons are involved in the Grand Parade. During the parade march past, airborne flag-guarding echelons, foot formations, battle flag formations, armament columns, and aerial echelons will pass through or fly past Tiananmen Square in order. The parade is organized under a wartime command system. It will involve thousands of troops, over 100 aircraft, and hundreds of ground armaments. Commence the march past. Flag guides the direction. Flag pulls strength. The march past begins with the airborne flag guard echelon.
Accompanied by the impassioned military music, the flag of the CPC, the 26 helicopters form huge numerical shapes of 8 and 0. 3 helicopters were bearing the banners that read, "Justice will prevail, peace will prevail, the people will prevail." These messages are a great truth inspired by history, a solemn proclamation of the right course, a clarion call in an era of peace and development.
The Chinese nation always cherishes peace and takes side with historical correctness, fairness, and justice. The people's military will always lead that iron and great wall, defending national sovereignty, securing the development interests, as well as a pillar of world peace.
A total total of 45 formations and echelons participate in the parade. And most of the weapons and equipment are shown to the public for the first time. It not only embodies the continuation of heroic armed forces during the War of Resistance, but also demonstrates enhancing combat readiness.
First to be inspected are 13 flood formations. After a comprehensive and deepened reform, the People's Military has formed a new system of services and arms. 4 service formations, 4 armed formations, and the formation of the Armed Police Force will be holding their respective flags to make a group debut during the parade. Holding high the party, national, and military flags. The formation of the Guard of Honor of the PLA is marching toward us. The People's Armed Forces, under the leadership of the CPC, are always